impressive that in a matter of 20 minutes you guys could come up with something like this. I mean, bad as it is, it's still impressive that you were able to do it this quick.
Yeah, that's a cool logo.
You promised that you would draw and we would do the talking. And when you grow up a little more, we'll let you work that with the grown-ups.
Well, when you were creating characters, Dan, what was the process back then? I mean, because Rob and I right now, we do our own writing and our own drawing. We don't collaborate with anybody anymore. So
that's the problem, and I've been meaning to talk to you guys about.
Hi, welcome to our live show, everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having an amazing weekend so far, even though it's coming to an end. Wah, wah. But it is a beautiful Sunday here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is where we're streaming from, as Jason is fixing a couple things here. In case you don't know, my name is Megan.
I'm Jason. We're with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yes, we have a comic shop here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we have a website that is accessible all over the world, except we only ship in the U.S. Anywho, that's what we're going over today, the collectible comics we have added to our website this week. If you would like to follow along, you can go to infinityflux.net, scroll down just a little bit, and past the free comic book day announcement, and you'll see a cube there that says collectible comics, and that is the section we're going to be going over today. There's a whole lot of stuff in there, but we're just going to be going over a few of the new items we've added this week. If you're watching, make sure to say hello in the comments.
We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Mm-hmm. Our Instagram live is not going.
Where's my comments?
The comments right here.
Couldn't read until now. All right, how was the 10K? It was great. I ran almost the whole time, so I did not make that my goal, but I let myself off the hook. I said, as long as I run half of it, it's fine. But I did end up running the whole time, so I'm pretty proud of that. My first one ever. So, all right. But yeah, give us a comment. Let us know that you guys are watching. Tell us how your weekend's going and all that.
Okay, so this show, the point of it is we go over a lot of new books that have made it through our shop or ones that have been in storage. These are usually very big keys. Well, they're not all big keys. A lot of them are big keys. Some of them are minor keys. Some are full sets. Some are hot variants. It's not even all the things we put up. We put up a lot of things each week. We go over somewhere between like 15 and 20 of them. And we don't really talk tons about condition. That's all there on the page for you to see. Instead, we like to talk about what we find cool about the book, the history of it, and just noteworthy things. We like to keep this light and fun the way that comics should be. So all you have to do to follow along with us is just go to our website here at infinityflux.net. And then at the top, go under comics, and we are in the collectible comics section. And that's where you'll see the newest stuff. It's arranged sort of newest to oldest. And again, we're not going to go over every single thing. We're just going to go over some of it. So I guess I will begin.
Yes. And
all right.
Even more than usual, we have some really big books on the show this week as I'm trying to make our store a mecca for you to come to on Free Comic Book Day. If you're looking to get an amazing Grail piece or just something very collectible, first appearances, definitely make us a stop if you're at all in the area, because I am plastering our walls with this good stuff.
All right, so the first one I'm going to go over is a Golden Age issue of Detective Comics. Don't see many of these. They've barely ever come through our store. This is back from 1944, is Detective Comics number 92. And what a just sort of classic situation we have here of there's a criminal and he is surrounded by Batman and Robin. Now, this book has a lot of problems. I mean, it's from 1944. So I believe the front and back covers are detached from it, but they are still present, which is really cool. I think it's also really noteworthy at the top, instead of just having 10 cents with the cent symbol, they wrote October, OCT, and then ... and they wrote out 10 cents. I don't see that very often with comics. I don't know why they decided to do that. I don't know if this was common for back in the golden era. Not from what I've seen, but I thought it was noteworthy. Also, just the difference of ellipses. You know, we don't use the ... to just be between the month and the price these days. So definitely one I doubt many of you have seen before in real life. Detective Comics number 92, back from the golden age of comics.
And hey, Vincent, good to see you in the shop the other day. Hopefully, it seems like you made a safe trip back. So, hello.
Yep, saw Vincent just the other day.
All right, my first book of today is Flash 139. Definitely starting with some biggies. This is the first appearance of Reverse Flash. One of, Batman has some great villains. So does Flash, and Reverse Flash is definitely near the tippy top, if not at the top. So featured on the cover here as well. Also a big villain in the Flash TV show. So just a really scary villain here. It's about a 4.0 from 1963. So Silver Age. Flash 139, and you can check out more pictures and see more detail right here. Definitely an iconic cover for Flash Silver Age collectors.
Yeah, I would say, in my opinion, Reverse Flash is probably Flash's
number one
biggest villain. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, it is Batman Adventures number 12, the first appearance in Standard Comics of Harley Quinn. That means maybe she was in some promo thing or something like that. This is considered Harley Quinn's first appearance in comics. And you can tell it's so early on that look at her outfit. That is the classic Harley Quinn outfit from the Batman animated series cartoon, which I'm sure many of you like me know and love so well. And everything about this book was taken from that. The way that all the characters look, even the team up with Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy, which happens a few times in the show. So here's your chance to get the first appearance. This is also a newsstand copy. I don't think that's listed here, but you see that with the barcode there. So another big book that we are bringing to the show today.
Okay. My next one I know we've had on before, and you will see we have lots and lots of sets. Here, we'll go over in a second, but is Amazing Spider-Man 316, which if you caught me, I mistakenly put this as Venom 316. That is Amazing Spider-Man 316. It is the first full cover appearance of Venom. We've definitely talked about this on the show before, so it's one of the first times I think he's depicted with blood as well. So full body first cover of Venom for $150. Todd McFarlane, an iconic Spider-Man modern age piece.
And that blood is coagulating. Yeah, so when Vincent was in the store yesterday, I didn't tell you, Megan, but yeah, he was like, give me a job. Just so he could stay with us. Okay, so like Megan said, we have a lot of different sets that have been put up lately. I'm just going to highlight, there's so many, you could just look through them yourself. But the two I'm going to highlight just for funsies. Number one is Star Trek 1 through 18. Now, I know with comics, the Star Wars comics pull in all the cash, but the Star Trek comics, they're really cool too. This was the first Star Trek comic series that Marvel ever got. They got the license right around when they released that first Star Trek movie. And the first 3 issues of this set actually is a retelling of that movie. And then from issue 4 on, it was original stories. I think that's cool when a series does that. It's like, well, we'll go ahead and adapt it, but then after that, we're going to let the team do their own stuff. So this is the entirety of it for just $50. And then the other set I wanted to highlight is, this takes me back to when I first started collecting comics, Punisher Warzone, almost a complete set. It's just about the entire complete set. We note the ones that are missing. I think it's missing like 3 issues. But if you've been collecting comics, I started back in like 89, 90. This one came out a few years into it. Remember the die cut cover? I'm sure many of you remember this cover. Very cool. It was just neat to open up. One of those early die cut covers. Many have been done since, but have they been done as well? I don't know. This is the Punisher. I think it's pretty much his 3rd real ongoing series. He had self-titled, and then he had War Journal, and War Zone was sort of the 3rd big one. So if you remember this, maybe you want to grab just about all of them from us.
Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Next up. Okay. Next up is Journey into Mystery 103. This is the first appearance of Enchantress. This is a beautiful cover. Oh, what is this called again? Bifrost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, the Rainbow Bridge. Just anytime they depict that on the cover is really beautiful. So you get to see that here. And it is the first appearance of Enchantress. Again, she's on the cover here and even mentioned down here at the bottom. We promise that you will never forget the breathtaking Enchantress. So Journey into Mystery 103, 1964 here. About a mid-grade copy of this one. Can Thor defeat two of the strangest super menaces of all time? She's just mentioned multiple times on this.
Yeah, I don't know if I would call Enchantress strange.
She's a
That's
strange,
why,
mystical female.
but if she were strange, she would have been in Strange Tales instead of Journey into Mystery.
Mhm.
So, all right. The next one, I've got a few things to say about this. So it is almost the entirety of Bloodstone, the miniseries back from 2001, which introduces Elsa Bloodstone, who's the daughter of Ulysses. So Ulysses Bloodstone, he goes back to Strange Tales. I forget what issue, but I think he's been around since really early Marvel. You know, we're talking 1960, 1961. And it took that long for them to bring a daughter about. So I guess like 41 years later, they're like, let's have him have a daughter, because they killed him off. I think in like 75, they killed off Ulysses. So I was thinking that's really weird, like that writers and artists kept up with this Bloodstone family lineage to bring her back. And that's when I realized, you know, I think I know who they're playing off of here. This obviously is Raiders of the Lost Ark cover. And I'm not thinking Indiana Jones, though. I think the popularity of Lara Croft is what sparked Elsa Bloodstone. And my evidence for this, so Lara Croft came about before. She's been around since 1996. But the first Tomb Raider movie happened in 2001, same year that Marvel went, we have a Lara Croft-like character. Let's give her own series. This series has a lot of cool covers. This all came from one collection. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to the issue number 2. These are hard to come across. Just the print run was kind of low. Not a lot of people kept up with them. I think issue 1 and 3 are really, really high quality. Issue 4 has a little bit of dinginess to it. I'll kind of show. But anyhow, I thought everybody would like to hear my investigation. I think Elsa Bloodstone is based mainly on Lara Croft, personally.
All right. Next page. Next page for me is Tales of Suspense number 53. This is the second appearance of Black Widow, and it's really cool with her old costume, which is basically just, I don't even know, like a 1950s chic woman is how she looks.
I think she's supposed to also look like a bit like a woman in mourning.
Yeah.
You know, because her husband has died.
Exactly. So, yeah, a little bit of light funeral attire. Still looking fabulous. So, second appearance of Black Widow here, just $90. We do have someone wrote their name on the front. Pretty long name up there. And otherwise, you can see more in detail here.
I mean, how many characters have gone over under that much transformation?
Yeah.
Like from conception of here's this character, the Black Widow, and here's what she looks like, and she's a villain, to who she is, you know, more commonly known as today.
Absolutely, yeah. Big transformation.
Okay, so my next one's a character. The mantle's been passed a few times, but really it has stayed true to the character, I think. It is Marvel Premiere number 47, which is the first Scott Lang as Ant-Man, which I had to go in and edit this. Somebody else put this listing up. And they put first Scott Lang. It's not first Scott Lang. His first appearance, it's in an issue of Avengers. But he's just there as himself. This is when he takes the mantle and becomes Ant-Man. I have seen this issue go up in value over the 10-plus years we've been open now. We're heading towards our 11th year. And, it's due to the Marvel movies, Paul Rudd, all that. And also just comic collecting just, has in general been on the upswing since we've been open. I like to think we have a little something to do with that in our own way. This is a pretty high-grade copy of this. And, I always tell the joke that somehow I can see Paul Rudd in this. Like, I don't know what it is, but I can.
Okay, my next one is X-Men 135. And this is the second appearance of Jean Grey as Dark Phoenix. This is a really nice John Byrne cover, just very intense as this saga is from 1980. $60. It is an above average looking copy. A few other things going on here, but yeah, getting into the Dark Phoenix saga part 7. A very solid copy. Really great first page too.
She's got the crazy eyes.
You would too.
With that much power.
Yeah. With Really like this explosion, how they do the font on this first page as well.
All right, next one up, another X book. It is X-Men number 55. So this far in, and they're telling some of Angel's origin story. Angel is a founding member of the X-Men, and then of course way later they turn him into Archangel. But way before that, at issue 55, they said, hey, let's talk a little bit more about Angel before he was with the X-Men. He was a vigilante. He used to go out as a vigilante. He called himself the Avenging Angel. And Professor X heard about this person and brought him into the fold. Angel's real name is Warren Worthington III. And he came from a very well-to-do family. And before Wolverine was ever around, he actually had a crush on Jean Grey and had a bit of a love triangle with her and Scott Summers, Cyclops, which, eventually he could tell those two were destined, so he kind of cooled off. And then Wolverine came along, and they did the same thing with him. So that's some of what you will get in X-Men number 55, which also has a fantastic sort of cosmic-looking cover.
All right, another one we have also had on the show before. This is Daredevil number 3. It is a lower grade copy, so it's a good chance to grab it at that price for just $75. 3.0, bottom staple is detached. So Daredevil number 3, this is the first appearance and origin of the owl. And you can see that character on the cover here as well. Very subtle owl. And then it's the third appearance of Daredevil. So number 3.
I'd like to point out the owl has a chair that, to me, it looks like he's got a light that's in the chair behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, that's something else.
Yep. He's very flashy, as villains often are. So, first appearance of the Owl, third appearance of Daredevil, issue number 3, 1964. Get it at a good price because that bottom staple is detached on this copy. We do have a better condition copy in this collection as well.
All right, time for something modern, and I did promise we do variants as well on the show. It is this signed copy of Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 1. The cover artist, of course, is J. Scott Campbell. And Campbell did sign it. Campbell has a really nice signature, and he doesn't hide it. I mean,
No.
I think where he chose to sign this is really good, too, because it doesn't really ruin any of the art. You still get to see all the parts of the book that you want to see, but the signature is just there. It's bold. It looks nice. And it does come with a certificate of authenticity.
Also, keeping it modern, we have 2 mini-series here. If you're a Brian Michael Bendis fan, this is from his Jinx World series. So we have Pearl and Cover, 2 different mini-series, Pearl 1 through 12, Cover 1 through 6. Pearl is about a tattoo artist who turns into an accidental assassin, and Cover is about a comic book artist, and that is her. She also is recruited to do missions, and the cover is that she is an artist, comic artist, so she's traveling to various conventions. So that is why she is able to be there. That's what makes sense for her to be in these different locales while she's collecting intel. So if you like Brian Michael Bendis, or if you want to read more indie stories, definitely check these 2 out. I've read them and they are really good.
All right, I got another X book. If issue 55 wasn't early enough, I am going to go over issue number 20. All the way back from 1966. If there's not enough X in your X-Men, look, somebody drew sort of another.
Kind of an X.
Yeah, kind of more of like a plus mark. I don't know why anybody thought that was a good addition, but I guess when you're bored back in 1966 and you're a kid, you might do that. So this is the third appearance of Blob. This also has the origin of how Professor X lost the use of his legs. You see that sort of at the bottom part here. And a couple other things I think are noteworthy of this. It has the very classic Stan Lee, "Nuff said." Our title is simply "I Lucifer." Nuff said. Very Stan Lee. And it also has the story where Blob and the other mutant, Unis, they team up. They dress up like X-Men and rob a bank and try to frame the X-Men. That old nugget of a story. I wonder where Blob went to. It was like, I need an X-Men outfit, sew one up for me. And they looked at him. They're like, we're going to have to charge, double or triple for this guy. So X-Men number 20.
All right. And hello, Bumpkins. Bumpkins and Matt and Andy are at C2E2 right now. How's it going? Today's the final day. I guess you guys are heading back tomorrow. Let me know how it's been. Say a few words. Thanks for popping in here. All right, next up for me is these several different modern books, but they are all newsstand editions. So this Spawn #1, this is probably the most rare one, is a really high-grade copy, newsstand edition for $75. You really don't see a Spawn #1 with a newsstand very often. So if you ever find one out in the wild, normally Spawn #1s are $25 to $50, depending on condition. If you see a newsstand at a good price, definitely scoop that up. It is worth more. Next one, X-Men #1, newsstand copy. All these are really high grade.
And the Magneto cover out of all the covers is the most sought after one, actually.
And then lastly, for a newsstand copy, I had a couple more, but they've been bought, is Venom Lethal Protector. Another one that is more hard to find. They truly are more rare newsstand copy here.
And the last one for me to go over is, if you love Frank Miller and you like your comics very intense and with maybe a smidge of history, 300. It is the full mini series that, of course, was later adapted into the wildly successful movie and then the much less successful sequel. What was the sequel called? Rise of an Empire. I have not seen that. Some people say it's good. Anyhow, 300, an issue will be in somebody's collection, 2 issues. It's usually not the entire thing, but this person came in. They had all 5 of them in really good shape. It looks like they very gently read them. They were bagged and boarded all these years. So here's your chance if you want to check that out for yourself or add it to your collection.
All right. And my last one today is actually, we're going to go back a bit. And we're going to check out, just briefly, I want to show you guys, we added quite a few graded comics. So we have some big ones. First of all, the super cool 1950s space attack on planet Mars. I know several people who just collect like sci-fi covers. Hey, Greg. And laser covers. We also have Batman 232, first appearance of Ra's al Ghul. Again, I'm putting a lot of these out right now because Free Comic Day is coming up. So you're going to see some really big items, not only on our website, but on the shelves. Definitely start saving up if you want to buy a Grail on Free Comic Day. We have Avengers #55. A few little key items in that you can look up. Oh, Blast from the Past. Jason just talked about this. We also have a graded version of first appearance of Harley Quinn. Also newsstand right there. And then last one up this week, I put up a few, is Amazing Spider-Man #4, First Silk. This is also a J. Scott Campbell variant for this one. So check out the various grades on that. Some new graded books also made it to the site this week. And as always, if you are interested in new comics, go to that new releases section. This is the stuff that is releasing on Wednesday. Our DC comics were delayed this week because they have our Free Comic Day stuff in them, so they're behind. So if you are checking out our website, if you're waiting, DC stuff should be on there tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow 3 o'clock or so, probably.
And last thing, if you want to know more about Free Comic Day, click on this, see what's free this year. This is our very own site that one of our best friends help us make. So check out all of the comics on here. You can even start creating your own wish lists as well. And go back. If you want to keep up to date with more details about our specific Free Comic Day, click here. Here's the event page, and you can stay informed as we post and add details to it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a really great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you again next week.
Yep. We'll see you next Sunday.